All right, welcome back to Mr. Joyrider Gaming. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we are going to do a ranking of the game Mercs. This is the sequel to Commando. As you know, we already did one ranking the Commando ports. It's Mercs, and we're going to take a look at it right here on Mr. Joyrider Gaming.
Yep, so today we're going to take a look at the different ports of Mercs. Originally released as Wolf of the Battlefield 2 in Japan, run-and-gun shooter, arcade video game developed by Capcom, published by Capcom in 1990, a direct sequel to 1985's Commando, which we've covered previously. So what we're going to do is we're going to rank the games 1 through 9. There's 9 different ports that we're going to talk about. Well, there's the original game and 8 different ports that we're going to talk about. And I hope that you have some fun. You might disagree, you might agree. Otherwise, still a fun game, and I hope that you guys enjoy it. Alright, we're starting off our list at number 9. This is Mercs for the Sinclair ZX Spectrum 1991, published by US Gold Limited and developed by Capcom. Okay, now I had to rank this as number 9 on the list because I couldn't really get it to work. I don't have a native ZX Spectrum. So trying to emulate it, as you can see, there's no sound with it, and the emulation speed was way off. So I got to give it 9 because it was unplayable in that incarnation. If I was doing a grading, I would give it an X, meaning I can't really rate it because I couldn't really play it. But that's Mercs for the ZX Spectrum. All right, next up, number 8, we've got Mercs. This is for the Commodore 64. Mercs for the Commodore 64, 1991, yet again. It was US Gold and Capcom. Now, this game plays okay. It doesn't play terribly. A couple of problems with them, why I ranked it so low on the list. Number 1 is at the very end of the game, and you'll see it here. There's a glitch where you get stuck in the helicopter, or you're stuck in the airplane, and I was stuck. I couldn't move. Even when I died, I couldn't. I just respawned right there and ruined the game because that's the very end of the game, and I wasn't able to complete the game. The other problem I had with it is that there are no sound effects. Everything, the music is everything. There's no bullets. There's no explosions. It's just the music. So it makes it a little bit less fun of an experience. But I liked it, except for it getting stuck. I might have ranked it higher, but glitchy is as glitchy does. Number 8, it's the Commodore 64 version. Okay, next up, number 7 on the list. Now, this is interesting because the Sega Genesis version of Mercs came out. It's got 2 different modes. It's got the arcade mode and what they call the original mode. I decided to rank them both separately since they're both totally different gaming experiences. You'll see the arcade mode have a much higher number than number 7 on the list, but I gave the original mode number 7, and I'll tell you why. Seems like it's going to be a vast game where you can choose between characters and you get power-ups and all kinds of things. However, you start with one character and 1 life. And once you lose that life, the game is over. I had to play it several times before I even got to level 2 and was able to then find out about the other characters and all that and see there's a real whole game that opens up. So just for me, the difficulty level, I saw there were some Game Genie codes. I couldn't get them to work, at least like an Infinite Lives or something like that. But without Game Genie, just popping it in, playing the original mode, it's extremely frustrating. I'm glad they don't have the one-kill deaths like they did in Commando, but, one life is a little bit hard to swallow. All right, that's Mercs number 7, the original version on the Sega Genesis. Okay, next up for the Atari ST computer, we've got Mercs, and this one looks fantastic. It looks great. It's a little herky-jerky the way it plays. Again, some of this might be emulation problems. It's a pretty accurate to the arcade port. You can play 2 characters in all these games. All these games are two characters at the same time, simultaneous gameplay. And this one was particularly difficult, but I did indeed enjoy the gameplay, and had it be the only copy that I had, I think I would have liked it. Number 6 on the list because of I couldn't get as far. That's fair, right? Number 6. It's Mercs for the Atari ST. All right, next up, we got number 5 on the list, and this is coming in on the Amiga. And this version looks great. It really does. It's as high quality as the Genesis version and close to the arcade version. Difficulty level's still there, but you got the different weapons you can use. You got your bomb that takes out everybody on the screen, and it's difficult. I think it would have been more fun with the second player, but where it's at, it's about right in the middle as far as the game goes, because I wasn't able to complete it, but I was at least able to play it, right? And so it's number 5 on the list. Okay, number 4 on the list. I'm going to tell you, all the ones from this point onward, they were all great, all a lot of fun to play. Published by Sega, developed by Capcom. This is the Sega Master System version of Mercs, and it's coming in on my list as number 4. Now, I did have a bit of an issue with the difficulty on this. I know I'm complaining about how hard the game is. Look, man, it's a very difficult game. I'm just going to tell you straight up. It's very, very difficult. So I was able to finish this version, though, and the graphics might not be as nice as the Genesis, but the gameplay is fine. Everything works the way it should, and it's definitely worthy of the playthrough, or at least an attempt to play through, if you can survive. I do like the one thing about this game is the different kinds of guns that you can use. There's a very Contra feel. There's even the equivalent of a spread weapon, and that makes it a lot of fun. And I gotta say, a lot of these games, I think a lot of these versions I think would have been a lot more fun had I played them with 2 players. But alas, I am alone. So this is number 4. It's for the Master System. All right, next up for the Amstrad microcomputer, we've got the version of Mercs that was released over there, and this one, I mean, it looks like a Game Boy Color version, quite frankly, but why is it number 3? Look how it looks. It's herky-jerky, the graphics everything's all small, because it was one of the most playable versions. In fact, it's one of the only handful of versions that I was able to complete and have fun doing so. I was able to finish this game, and that made it a little bit higher on the list than the others. If you want an arcade experience, this ain't it. But if you want to feel like you're playing a Game Boy Color game or handheld, check it out. It's for the Amstrad microcomputer, and it's number 3. Alright, number 2 on the list, this is Mercs for the Sega Genesis, and it's very close to the arcade experience. It's another one that is difficult, but you got continues on this one, just like you'd be able to put quarters in for the arcade version. Plenty of power-ups, the levels are the same, mostly the same as they are in the arcade and in a lot of the other versions. That's one thing, these maps are all very similar, and it plays well. Different power-ups. Again, it's kind of like a Contra, and it's a faithful port, and this one gets bonus points too because they have the whole other version of the game on the cartridge if you are indeed able to get anywhere beyond the first level of that. It's the Genesis version, Sega Genesis, and it is number 2 on the list. Number 2. All right, down to number 1, and how can we rank it anything other than the arcade game, the original? Now, best thing about this game, besides the graphics are killer, I mean, they look more beautiful than any of the graphics in any of the other versions. The best thing is you can continue to put quarters in. Yes, it's a quarter muncher, but there's no limit on that, so you're able to beat the game, which is essential. You don't have the one kill deaths that you have in Commando, but you do only have that one life. Also, you can play multiple players, which is great. You can even play as 3 players on this one, which is very cool. Yeah, I played it solo, and, you know, how could it not be the best of the bunch? It's the original, it's the arcade version. This one came out in 1990, developed and published by Capcom. And if you're going to play any of them, this one might be the best to check out. Maybe you can rescue the former president. I like how they didn't kidnap the current. It's the former. All right, listen, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the list, and I've got plenty more in the can. I had to take a couple of weeks off because I had COVID, and boy, it hit me hard. I wasn't able to do too much. I did post some gameplay videos. There's new gameplay videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and that always occurs. And then we try to do a video like this at least once a week, but that's assuming that we aren't dying of COVID. All right, man, I will see you guys next time. If you want to get in touch with Mr. Joyrider Gaming on Twitter, you can find me online, jaredmorris.com. I'll see you guys when I see you. As always, I say good luck, God bless, and good day, sir. Have a very, very good day, sir. Good day, sir.